Welcome back, everyone. We are here with a very exciting guest, client, I might even go so far as mentor. You've had an extremely prestigious career, awards, so much experience. I'm so excited to introduce Liz Folce today from Nakery Beauty. We are calling her this episode the First Lady of HSN, which I hope that lands.
You could do whatever you want. Sounds good.
Okay. Speaking of, I'm going to set the timer so we don't forget.
Okay.
We have so many interesting questions because you've had such a very cool path, I think, to your career. And I'm really excited to jump in. Typically, we always start with an icebreaker.
Okay.
And so this is no different. So today, I'm going to ask you, what's the most shocking feedback or piece of comment that a customer has ever said to you that actually became a product?
I would say that their doctors told them that they were too old, that they should never come back. I would also say women were told that just go sit in a warm bath and that should solve all your problems. So I created the vagina line. Skincare for down there.
Oh my gosh.
Based on a focus group, and it was quite awful to hear the stories.
Yeah.
We brought in a biochemist and a gynecologist and then created the wash, the moisturizer, and now the intimate wipes, which firm sagging skin down there. So it's great.
How do you deliver that feedback to someone with a straight face? It's no surprise after years of hearing this, you went on to do what you did, which we're going to talk about. But before all of that, you have talked a lot about sort of your past career experiences, how you sort of got to where you are. What I want to know is, was there any like specific influential moment that hooked you into beauty specifically? And because you've been riding it very successfully for over 35 years.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that industry?
I would say definitely meeting Leonard Lauder, and working behind a counter.
From Estée Lauder.
From Estée Lauder.
Yep.
And getting to listen to women's stories about their issues, their life, what they were going through. I would get in trouble a lot for talking too much.
Okay.
But,
which later paid off, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leonard was like, come on, you're going to New York, you're going to do this, and you're going to run the East Coast. And, he brought into my life some really great mentors that I learned from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that you were like, I got in trouble for talking too much, because later in life then people hired you to talk too much.
Right.
So
yeah.
When you were like behind the counter and that was the experiences you're having with women, how did you get to HSN? Because then you went on to be a very successful salesperson. Was someone like, this lady has a gift of gab and it's working? Or did you know that and that's what drew you in?
So
Tell us how that happened.
I was at HSN. Sephora came in and did a partnership with HSN. And so we were one of the brands from Sephora that were part of this. Mm-hmm. And so we were all in one big room. So like Lula Henderson, like you name it, like all the brands in one room. And the person in New York didn't make their flight down to go on HSN to represent the brand I was with. And they actually missed their flight. So the buyer comes in and says, okay, who wants their airtime?
Wow.
And everyone was jumping for the airtime. And then Terry Mako at the time, our buyer, said to me, Liz, unless you want to get mic'd, and do it. So I had diarrhea.
Because you were so nervous.
So nervous. And then went out there, and I guess I sold like 5 times the amount. So the president then called the person in New York and said, you never have to come back. That Liz, you have to do it because you connect with the customer.
Mm-hmm. How did that make you feel?
Oh no, how do I find time for it? Because I already had another job. I was already an account executive for the brand, working with different retailers. And I was thinking, how do I fit that in? Right.
Because, going in, the nerves, and then you're sitting there and all of a sudden they're telling you like, we just fired this other person. We're putting you in now because you're so good at this. Were you then, did like that defeat the imposter syndrome? Or were you still like sitting in, okay, I have to hype myself up for this?
Yeah, I had diarrhea for probably the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But, and then I just squeezed it into my schedule.
Mm-hmm. And so after that, you were on HSN selling for Estée Lauder very successfully.
For another brand. I won't
Okay.
mention names, but yes.
Okay. And at what point did you realize I'm really good at this?
I would say I never really thought I was so good at it. I thought that I'm really good at building a relationship with women.
Yeah.
I don't think of it as selling. I think of it as I'm here to help you and we're building a relationship.
Which I think as a woman, we all just want to feel understood.
Right.
So the extension of that, just being on air and like having these conversations and people calling in, it was a little bit, it must have been felt like a little bit therapeutic.
It did. And I think the hard part was I was working for a brand and then women started opening up about their stories about boob sweat and itching and all these different things about not feeling confident. And then I would go to the beauty brands, multiple beauty brands, and say, hey, can you create something for this issue or boob sweat or vagina? And they were like, no, absolutely not. Get out. Which is why I ended up quitting my job.
To start Nakery. So, and we'll get into like, how did you build it? Where did it all come from? But what I want to know is over the evolution of working for other people's brands, having these conversations with women on air, hearing their real problems, and then floating them out to others and getting knocked down, right? Like,
You're right.
How did you handle that? Were you just discouraged? Did it?
Definitely. And I would say that I thought to myself, okay, not so much discouraged, I would say disappointed. So then I thought, what could I do to help? So I thought, I'm going to start doing focus groups. And it was during COVID, so I had to do a lot of our focus groups, not live, but via Facebook, Instagram. And before I knew it, there was thousands of women who were sharing their stories. And I think as women, we just want to be heard.
Yeah, 100%. And they already felt like they knew you from your on-air presence.
Right.
So do you feel like that level of credibility helped?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
As you were hosting some of these focus groups? And
yes.
Do you feel like as you went on to have these conversations with women and really exploring the areas other people's weren't answering, what did you have to unlearn from doing it for someone else, then to turn around and really put their problems on a platform? Do you feel like there was anything that you were like, okay, I have to shut this down. We have to rewrite the script. We need a new approach, right?
Yeah, I would say that when you work for a big company like Estée Lauder, you have tons of resources. You have somebody that even takes the trash out. And when you're starting a new brand, as you know from being a founder.
Yeah, I'm just washing the dishes in our kitchen this morning.
Yes, you know what I mean? You're doing everything yourself, and you're also empowering other people to do more.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't have as many resources as 100 people versus 10.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So at that point, you decided, I'm going to quit my job. I want to provide a solution to all of these challenges that women are telling me. Where did you start? That seems like a rather large goal then to just charge at.
Right.
Where did you start?
I started with clearing out my savings account.
Where do good entrepreneur starts? Just going broke to start over.
Like, how long can I afford to clean out my savings account? So I kind of laid that out first. And then I hired a chemist and a scientist. And then we went to work on products that all of you said that you wanted. Yeah.
And you called it Nakery Beauty.
Yeah.
How many other names were there? Which ones didn't make the cut?
So it came in a focus group, and so everything about the brand is about listening to the customer, right? So even our actual principles about the brand, meaning that I said to the ladies, I said, okay, what do you want the brand to be? And they said clean beauty, clinically tested, innovative ingredients, affordable, big sizes, And they actually helped me pick out the name. So that we talked about building confidence, vacuuming naked, getting out of the shower and being able to look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, wait, I don't want to look, I don't want to turn off the lights. You know what I mean? Like you're so embarrassed, whether it's your skin, whether it's your body, whatever it is. And I thought, what do you guys think about naked something? And they were like, yes, yes, like empower us to feel confident naked.
Yeah.
So the word naked was taken. So Nakery was not taken. So we've got Nakery Beauty, and that's how it came about.
I love it. Sometimes I feel like people go in trying to name a company because they like it, because it meant something to them. And then you have to, as a continuation, just like explain, right? And you did the opposite, which I really love. Like you listened to everybody's feedback. You heard their, trials and challenges, and then you incorporated it into the biggest part of the company, which is the name of it. That's so cool.
Yeah. Everyone was like, you shouldn't do that. You should go hire a company that will help you determine what the name should be that's going to reach a broader audience. And I said, no, the brand is about the customer and listening. So they're going to help me pick the name, and that's how we're going to do it.
I love it. I mean, that's what we do for our clients anyway, right? And you just cut right to the chase because that was part of your experience coming into the industry. So fantastic. Then you went on to hire a chemist, start creating products. And I would love to understand what those initial meetings were like. You're like, we just cleared out our savings. We have this name. We're going to start developing things. Were people responsive to your approach to them and trying to like make new formulations and answer problems that hadn't been answered before?
No.
Shocking.
Everybody always wants you to fit a certain mold and fit into a certain demographic of what everyone else wants, which is probably why so many companies turn me down. And I would say the first two products was a body butter that was like diving into a jar of night cream that had sapphire peptides, it had hyaluron, I mean, a lot of skincare ingredients, because so many of you said, I want something that's like diving into a jar of night cream. So then we ran clinicals, which is very expensive to do, and make it clean, right? Certified clean. And what was exciting about that is that we created products that were such a high level of efficacy that everyone fell in love with it. The bad part is where we source the ingredients. It was funny because, even here in Florida, a company said to me, you don't know your strategy. You should maybe think about not doing this. And they're a big company here in Florida. I won't mention names, but
so they were haters.
It was like a pretty woman moment.
Yeah,
they were quite negative. So much so, my husband was working at the other end of the kitchen. We have that long kitchen, and he was like looking over at me, like, "How are you not hanging up on these people?" But they were very rude. They were like, "You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what a strategy is. You don't know how to build a business. Wow. You should just be using these cheap ingredients. You're putting too much active ingredients into a product."
Too much active ingredients into a product. I'm sorry, said no one ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you just want to come in at the lowest cost, but that's a lot to hear when you're first setting out.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it deterred you in any way, or did
no?
Yeah.
I just was like, I'm not going to listen. Yeah. You can't.
No, you can't.
Right.
Because you're on a mission.
Yep.
You know what you started the company to do.
Right.
And they didn't see the vision.
No.
Do you feel like there were others along the way that got it? Like,
yes.
Out of the gate?
Yes.
And how did that shape the direction?
I would say that we continue to buy our materials. We don't white label them. We actually make everything from scratch in-house. Yeah. So it's been great because we have such a great scientist and chemist that we work with every day that's really keeping us cutting edge, innovative ingredients and knows exactly the source of where to get them. And they actually make sure now that the ingredients themselves are clinically tested.
Yep. The numbers have changed, but I know that in the first couple years, you hit 21 million with like billions at this point of products that have been sold. You haven't taken any VC money. You haven't had a standing celebrity spokesperson. it's been you.
Uh-huh.
So by all intents and purposes, this has been like bootstrapped, ground up,
Yeah.
family run.
Yeah.
Because your husband is the COO.
Yep.
I'm really curious, was that something that you both set out to do, was work together? How did that come about?
The company was getting so big that I couldn't do it all on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I had told him he had to quit his job and come work for Nakery. So,
and he was like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. And here we are, April 22nd will be 4 years.
That's amazing. So the dynamic of husband, wife, and now your daughter has recently also started helping with the brand and the company. How do you go about running a business while still keeping the family dynamics?
The good news is we now have an office that opened in January.
Yes.
When it was all in the house, it was rough. But now we have an office, and so everybody just goes there, business, and then afterwards it's like normal.
Home time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially family-owned businesses, trying to find the balance between, where everybody's role is, and then trying to unplug. Sometimes it's just like a misnomer that suddenly you have all of these like very strict lines and boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still sit around the dinner table and like chit chat about what's going on in the business, or is it like no? Yeah. I think that's probably what, in my opinion, makes lasting companies. To try and still create like personal time for everybody.
Yeah.
I have some other questions for you, kind of about really the audience, and as you started going back on air, and with your new brand, a new company, and new products, and the line just continued to grow. Was there any piece of feedback that you heard on air that the audience like nixed? So you've developed something or you had ideas around something and you brought it to market and you found the audience said, no, we're not into this.
That would never happen.
I love that. Why do you think?
Because every product, like knock on wood, I don't have an itchy vagina, but if I did, I know where to go.
Right.
But
the
to this day, every product that we've ever done has been from listening to the customer, not because Liz woke up one day and the world needs another polka dot dress or something. It's not about me. I actually call myself the founder of the people.
I love it. Because you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you mentioned earlier that you were conducting your own focus groups and really trying to hear from people, we know that you started picking the phone up and calling people too. Calling your own customers on the phone.
I still have messages. I still get messages from customers.
What were those conversations like? Were people shocked that you were actually calling them to hear their feedback?
No, I would say, some, I would say cried a lot.
Aww.
Or if I answer the phone, they're like, oh my gosh, you answered the phone. Then they'll tell me about the weather, what they're doing, how their family is, all that fun stuff.
So you actually just get to have relationships with these people.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's amazing. I feel like so many people that go into business, put a product out in the world, create their own echo chamber, right? Of like, this thing is good, this thing is bad, because of even just sales numbers. I think sometimes can be misinformed until you start hearing directly from the people who are buying it. So what a gift that you were able to have these relationships and hear very authentic stories, vulnerable stories.
Yeah, I love that.
What do you attribute like that trust that these women all of a sudden just opened up to you? How do you,
because they know I'm solving their problem. You know, they know I'm not just doing a focus group just to hear them complain. I'm here to listen, provide a solution, and see how I can help. And if I can't help, then I would say that I can't help with this situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here's something that you could possibly do.
I think that's so important that so many people just kind of skip over. So well played. It has obviously extended now into other lines that you've been able to produce, and even like problem solving for content within the company, because I know that you've used real people from HSN, and now you've gone into even other lines, right? Like you guys are in Ulta now, so retail, you sell direct to consumer off of HSN. Has the expansion of where you're selling, because it used to just be you, right? And you were able to really make that one-to-one connection. Has that changed the dynamic of the company at all?
No, because with Ulta, I do a lot of education with them, a lot of trainings. So I feel super connected, and I'm in Ulta at least every week. And no, it's just a different way. So like even with Amazon, you can actually connect with customers in a different way. So there's always a way.
I love it. She's like, if there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way.
I'm gonna find a way to talk to these people.
Yes.
Speaking of, you're doing some TikTok lives now and selling live on TikTok, and it's been such a trend. Have you tried to, because now you have other people on your behalf selling.
Yeah.
Have you tried to like almost clone your approach, or do they have their own approach to the audience?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I never say how to sell, what to do. I don't get involved in any of that. No, you have to be authentic. And I think people know when you're not authentic. So no, absolutely not.
Yeah. I love that answer, because in today's like social ecosphere, especially on TikTok more than any other platform, they can sense it. Dang it. It's always too soon. So that was 21 minutes.
Okay,
I know it doesn't feel like it. We do have rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
So this is like a tweet response.
Okay.
All right. Some of these are Nakery, some of them are not.
Okay.
Here we go. Guilty pleasure product that has nothing to do with Nakery.
Oh gosh, what do I use every day? My dry brush or my red light.
Yeah.
Okay.
But good.
Yeah.
Both really good. What does Liz on her day off look like?
Workout clothes, no makeup, sunscreen, and a ponytail.
Beautiful. Who has final say? You or COO husband?
I would say equal.
Love.
Good answer.
Uh-huh. He's watching. Right. Who shops for and picks out your on-air outfits?
Me.
Love. Most overrated ingredient in beauty right now?
I would say like petrolatum Vaseline.
What's the compliment you get most that you still haven't gotten used to?
How much I've helped someone's lives. Like you've helped my life better. I have a better life because of you.
Yeah, that hits. What's one word your daughter would use to describe working with you?
I have to ask her, but I would say determined.
Last question. For anyone sitting on a great brand idea but too scared to bring it to life, what would you tell them?
No, do it. Yeah, I would say do it. You never know unless you try. The worst thing is you just like for me, I thought I lost my savings account, and I just go find a job and go get a job.
That's it.
But you don't know until you try.
Love it. Liz, this has been awesome.
Thank you
for spending 21 minutes with us.
I
appreciate you so much. Make sure you go check out nakerybeauty.com, like, follow, and subscribe. Also, go check out our newsletter and tune in for next time. Thanks, guys.